come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. I'm feeling okay this morning. And you know, we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. Would you like to come along, and you can help me sing this song, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. It's alright, baby, it's alright. They could tell you what to do, but they'll make a fool of you, and it's alright, baby, it's alright.
Hello.
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 Hi, Call Me John. I see you, boo. I see you, the
Call Me
first
John's
one here.
First one. Welcome to another
I'm just
episode.
adding this to the social medias.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun celebration of sorts. Happy Memorial Day. And by happy, I mean, let's call out this imperialism bullshit. Does everyone have their American flag on their outfit? Does everyone use their American flag napkins and paper plates?
Shorts. Gotta have the shorts.
Oh, gotta have the shorts.
Yes.
Gotta have them.
Gotta have
Everybody having on the pickup truck. Yeah. Tons of flags. Everyone has the flags. And not just the Ukraine. Gotta have the America of the United States. So proud to be here. So proud to be an American. You're probably too young, but we had a song.
Where at least I know I'm free.
Yes.
And I won't forget the
my
man
God.
who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly
And I'll probably
stand
stand
up next to you. I think they had us sing that song in 4th grade chorus.
Oh my God. That is so abusive.
Yeah, no, we yeah, there were like definitely a few patriotic songs that we sang. I think This Is My Country. This is my country.
My country.
I pledge the allegiance, America, the bones. Yeah.
May all acquaintance be forgot.
Keep your eye on
that
the
makes me, oh my God, it makes me feel so proud to be an American when I hear those songs. And when I look at our flag, it just inspires me so much. So we're going to be talking about some fun things tonight. We're going to be talking about, for one, the hypocrisy of people like, celebrating Memorial Day and saying what a travesty it is that people have died for our country, while saying let's send more over to every other country overseas, and they're expendable in that regard, but not on holidays. Mm-hmm. We're also going to talk about the stop guns, but yes, let's keep sending them to Ukraine. And guns are only bad when they kill white kids, not black and brown ones, like, the ones we're blowing up in Somalia that nobody's talking about. And then we have a few other things. So, as usual, white men go first. Andrew, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so yesterday I went to, I think it was yesterday, this weekend's been a blur. Yeah, it was yesterday. I went to an Assange rally, Julian rally, sorry, YouTube.
Oh, I don't care.
An Assange rally, and it was an interesting rally because Merrick Garland actually happened to be one of the speakers or the speaker for graduation at Harvard, which was why the rally happened outside of Harvard, because essentially it was Merrick Garland, you can pardon Assange. And so there were a lot of different speakers. Jill Stein was there. She spoke a couple of times at this rally. So I wanted to just kind of highlight some points that were made from this rally that I recorded. You could find the whole thing. Just a shameless plug here. You can find the whole video here on People's Voice Network, where I'm also at. But I wanted to just share because this is a worker at Harvard. He actually works in the dining hall, and I really liked how he put together a lot of how he connected this to a lot of other issues, because I think especially for somebody who is new to Assange, yes, this is a freedom of speech issue, but there's also so many other issues intertwined. Now, feel free in the comments, if you can't hear this video that well, then I'll stop it and I'll just talk about it more. But I want to try and see if at least we can get some good sound here.
Thank you. I'm Ed Childs. I represent the Harvard Dining Hall Workers, the union, United Fair Local 26.
Yeah.
And we want to say that we demand, we're not asking, we demand the Attorney General of the United States stop the charge of Julian Assange. Who is Julian Assange? He's not just a reporter, an Australian reporter at that. He is the hope of every worker, not only in this country, but all over the world, who have the right to squeal, to tell, however you want to put it, to be a whistleblower on illegal activities that their government, their employer, does. Everybody in the world has a right to be a whistleblower. And every worker understands that. But yet, the biggest whistleblower in the world, Julian Assange, is now trying to be extradited into the United States to be shut up. Shut up because he has started WikiLeaks. Whistleblowers in this country have been suppressed for centuries. Proof positive. Harvard University, just today, just this week, just this month, has admitted that they were complicit in slavery. Everybody in the world knew about it. But what they did is suppress whistleblowers. So the secretaries, the librarians, the students, the professors weren't allowed to whistleblow on Harvard over the last 100, 200, 300 years about their complicity with slavery. That's why we need Julian Assange. That's why we need WikiLeaks. It's an outlet for workers to have a real whistleblower. That's why we demand the Attorney General release all charges and apologize to Julian Assange. Every secretary, every worker has a right to whistleblow. We now have the right not to smoke cigarettes because we know what's going on with cigarettes. Because they illegally put stuff in there to addict us, addict our children. But not until the whistleblower printed. Now it's suppressed for decades and decades while the health of this country went down. We need whistleblowers. We have the right to be whistleblowers. Now let's get to the military. We say we support soldiers. You don't support soldiers. Suppose soldiers in this country are one of the most suppressed people in the world. We're not allowed to be whistleblowers. Even after World War II, they said all soldiers have a right to whistleblow on illegal activity. But yet, we see U.S. soldiers who have leaked, who have whistleblown, and Julian Assange has picked up their terrific, courageous testimony and published it. They've been put in jail, or they're threatened with jail. Why? Because they want to suppress our military, our soldiers. That's why we demand the Attorney General release Julian Assange. Not just for Julian Assange, but for every secretary in this country.
So yeah, I was really impressed by how he was really able to connect it to workers. He connected to the history of Harvard. He connected it to other when it comes to smoking, and really just, I mean, I thought that was just a great speech to give somebody who's new to this. And I think always the challenge when it comes to foreign policy is that people kind of can sometimes dismiss and being like, that's happening over there, right? But if you connect it and being like, this is how this actually has to do with your life, I don't know. I just thought that was really a great way to really kind of show how it actually relates to workers. And
I think it's such a habit we all have is that when we think whistleblowers, we do think of imperialism, but there are all kinds of whistleblowers. Like there are whistleblowers in the insurance company who come out and say, look, here's what went on. There are whistleblowers in factories. We have to realize that there are whistleblowers of all kinds. So not just would this be penalizing journalists, and the only journalist in existence who has 100% accuracy rating,
right?
It would set the precedent of not just penalizing journalists, but penalizing, truth tellers, whistleblowers, just as a whole. So it is about Julian, but it's also about an extension of everything that means, that precedent it would be setting. Just the mere idea we would be extraditing someone to a country they do not live in. So we can try to, dude has never lived in the United States. Why are we bringing him here? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's never been done.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so I wanted to show real quick, Jill Stein, she gave a little speech at the end. So, of course, wanted to show the person who gave us Trump, right?
Susan.
Yeah. Oh, if we could have Jill Stein and Susan Sarandon together, changing the world.
I wish. Fear for them.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to close here by saying, once again, to Merrick Garland, the best gift that you can give to the graduating class of 2022 and 2021, the graduating class at Harvard, the graduating class at every college and university across the country, really across the entire world, and the graduating class of every high school and grammar school across the world, The best gift you can give to the rising generation is a democracy with a free press. Without a free press, we do not have a democracy. These young people do not stand a chance to deal with the challenging crises that we face across the board, from collapsing climate to the crushing inequalities of our economy and of racial and social justice and labor justice, the crisis of expanding war, the increasing nuclear threats that we are facing in the proxy war in Ukraine, this tragic war, but it's one of many wars. One of many wars where the United States and Martin Luther King's word has been the greatest purveyor of violence the world over. We need to be able to talk about that. We, the American people, need to be informed and empowered with many different points of view. And what we're seeing now is a real tragic exercise of censorship in the form of the recent Disinformation Management Bureau. Does that ring a bell to anybody? This Orwellian agency that was recently established, they just put it on pause because they were rightly embarrassed about this Orwellian Ministry of Truth to basically shut down vehicles for informing and empowering the public. There's a private organization called NewsGuard, which is in the business of harassing anti-war news organizations and putting a label on them. They are acting as if they are thought police. We've seen many anti-war journalists deplatformed. A critical video was recently taken down from YouTube showing the conversation of Victoria Nuland, the Assistant Secretary of State, with the then ambassador to Ukraine, arranging who would take power when the coup was exercised in the upcoming weeks in the Maidan in Ukraine. That mysteriously was taken down a couple of weeks ago, and because of the outcry against it, it reappeared yesterday, as I understand. But this is what we need to defend our democracy against.
So yeah, it's the video, the whole stream that I did, you know, was an hour long of different people talking. So if you want to see the rest of it or see it all or more of it, People's Voice Network, where it is. But Joy, have you heard of NewsGuard? I had never heard of NewsGuard. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. There are many. NewsGuard. She said there was a private organization it's called NewsGuard, and they harass people who are anti-war. I don't know, and try and get them censored. I guess it's NEWS Guard, GUARD, NewsGuard. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
It sounds vaguely familiar. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah. But you voted for Jill. Good for you, Lucky Burrito. Good call.
Well, I sure didn't vote for Hillary or Trump, I'll tell you that much. I said vote you no matter who, so I went with Bernie. I wrote his ass in, and I was like, okay, that's what we were saying down in D.C. when we were at the convention. Everyone was like chanting, vote you no matter who. So it was like Bernie or Jill. And then it was just so funny. It was like, okay, cool. I'm voting for my mensch here. So, and you know what? Like, seriously, on that note, fuck anyone who voted for Biden in the primaries. Like, can I just say that? Yes, I can, because it's my show. But fuck anyone who voted for Biden in the primaries. Like, yeah, seriously. We'll get into that more. But vote shaming is all the rage again. So,
yeah, there's been a lot of vote shaming.
If Jill has anything of validity to say, it's I mean, her name is forever just tarnished with Russian bot.
Yeah. And actually, I think one of, Logan, who you all know, actually showed data saying that, first of all, more people voted for Gary Johnson in 2016.
Sure did.
And more of the people who voted for Gary Johnson would have voted for Trump if Gary Johnson wasn't an option. So you can actually thank
Yeah, but
Gary.
here's the thing, Andrew. Voting for another woman instead of Hillary was the real fuck you. That's what it was. It was her turn. She's a woman. Vote for women. And voting for another person who's a woman is the biggest, most egregious mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Jill, for whatever reason, raised all that money to try and recount, thinking that Hillary would win. She recounted, 3 or 4 states for Hillary?
Wow.
Do you remember that? I know because Pennsylvania was one of them.
That. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like, she even went out of her way to pretty much kiss Hillary's ass and recount for her, and doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just like, Bernie, toured with Hillary 40 times and still,
36 times or something. Yeah.
But apparently he didn't try hard enough to get Hillary elected.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So
because you know why? Because shitlibs will never understand the concept of thinking for yourself.
mm-hmm.
To them, it's completely inconceivable that I can love Susan Sarandon and she could say I'm voting for Jill Stein, and that does not convince me to worship her and do the same. They can't, they don't understand that because they're so used to obeying and falling in line. They cannot comprehend the fact that we are free thinkers and we don't give a fuck who tells us what to do. We do what we want to do, period.
Exactly.
We make our own choices. They don't understand that. They never will.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I appreciated, so I mean, I think overall this rally, Merrick Garland, for those of you who have not seen Harvard, it's a massive campus. It's very insulated, right? Yes, it's in Cambridge, it's in a city, but it's literally got gates all around it, right? And you can go, you know what I'm talking about, Joy. And so, and there were so many people here. So the likelihood that Merrick Garland actually heard them talking was pretty low. But one of the things that I did see that I really enjoyed is that they had pamphlets and they had people literally just talking to people who passed by, educating them about Assange, right? Which I thought was, a great tool to spread awareness. And I think I loved how, they said even Obama didn't go against, didn't try and extradite Julian Assange because he didn't like Julian Assange, but he knew it was not a good and smart thing to do, right? And so I felt like they did, what I appreciated is I felt like they really communicated it well and they tailored it to being like, okay, if you're liberal minded and you love Obama, I'm not going to say he's a sack of shit. I'm just going to say, look, he was smart enough not to do this. Maybe this isn't a good idea, right?
He did 2 things that were good during his presidency, and that was one of them. So as much as Biden, brags about, President, my boss, he should actually take a cue from him. But I digress. But how fucking pissed would you be if you graduated from college and Merrick Garland was your fucking speaker, dude?
Yeah.
I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah. Joe Torre was mine from the New York Yankees. It's very different.
No idea who that is. Mine was just some Richie, A+ person, just some fellow student.
Nice.
Nobody famous. It wasn't me.
Still waiting on that commencement invite.
Exactly. Well, that was good. I'm glad you got to go to that. I know when I went to the one in DC last month, it was both days were just it felt so fucking good just to be out there with people, and it's funny you were talking about, handing out pamphlets and things. Well, people were doing that at ours too, and there was this guy who goes, Julian Assange is a fucking traitor, and starts yelling, and we're like, he's not American, you realize that, right? Like, he's a traitor to who, you fucking idiot? Like, people don't even know. Like, they don't even know. They're like, he's an American and he is a traitor because he gave our secrets away. He's not an American. He's not a fucking traitor, you idiots.
Do people like mix him up with Snowden, you think? I don't even know. Like, maybe they mix him up with... Maybe people mix him up with Snowden, maybe? I don't know.
It's possible. I'm not gonna try. But I don't think so. I don't think so after 2016. Because, he's the reason Hillary lost and everything. So I think, like, everyone knows who Assange is now.
He's not a Democrat. No shit. He's not even an American.
Yeah, because in other countries, they have more than two parties, or essentially one party. Holy shit, that's bananas.
Newsflash, the Democratic Party isn't an international party, even though they might want to make you think that. But
they are to me. They are the world.
They are the world party.
They are everything.
So
what else you got, bud?
Yeah, so speaking of commencement, this happened, I believe, a week ago. I think it was Georgetown University. I should have gotten the college straightened up, where this Palestinian American student in Arab studies actually walked the stage with the Palestinian flag and refused to shake Blinken, who was at their commencement, Blinken's hand. So I want to just kind of give a snippet from Al Jazeera regarding the interview that they did with this student, because I think it's just a great, it's a great thing to just see. So give me 1 second. Blue though. Here we are. All right, perfect.
A group of graduating students in the US staged a protest in honor of Shireen Abu Akleh. On Saturday, they carried photos of her as they were awarded their degrees in Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. They're demanding an independent investigation into her killing. A Palestinian American student carried the Palestinian flag and refused to shake the hand of the graduation speaker, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Well, let's now talk to that student, Nuran Al-Hamdan. She joins us live from Washington, D.C. Thanks for being with us. So first of all, what prompted you to make that stand?
Thank you so much for having me, Sami. I really appreciate it. What prompted myself and my peers to have this stand is really simple. We are all graduating with a master's degree in Arab studies from Georgetown University, and we've spent the past 2 years learning about the colonial project in the Arab world, and in particular, the colonial project that is the State of Israel. I myself, as a Palestinian American, of course, have a very intimate understanding of what Israel inflicts on Palestinians, as my grandparents are survivors of the Nakba, and my parents have, lived the lives of Palestinian refugees. So for us, kind of the moment we knew that Blinken was the speaker, we knew for a fact that we were going to send him a message. It just so happened that a few days later, unfortunately, the world was shocked with the news regarding the murder of Shireen Abu Akleh. And that, to us, gave us a very direct compass in which to point our concerns to. So we were, protesting not only the incompetent U.S. role in the region and the frankly toothless remarks that the United States has in regards to someone who is an American citizen being murdered by a foreign army that we are supposedly allies with and bankroll by the millions and billions of dollars. It was not just a statement about Shireen, the martyr, but it was also a larger statement about justice for Palestinians, an end to the occupation, and Palestinian liberation more generally. And given the response and given the fact that Blinken actually confronted us at the end of commencement, it looks like the message was heard.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned that, as though you had an exchange with the US Secretary of State. Tell us what was said, what happened in that exchange.
Yeah, this is a great question, and I want to provide some background maybe to some of the viewers before I answer it. Myself and my peers, we had planned to don the Palestinian kufiya and to hold posters of Shireen Abu Akleh. This was the best that we could do in order to encourage the majority of our peers to participate, because some folks had issues with student visas or they're citizens of countries where free speech is not necessarily respected. And so that was the best way for us to incorporate everyone. And this action was seen by Blinken. He saw our posters. We walked into the procession of our graduation. Everyone saw the kufiyas. Everyone saw the posters with the martyr Shireen on them, and that message was heard. Now, my own interaction with Blinken, this was actually completely unplanned. I did not wake up that day and think that I'm going to walk by the Secretary of State on the stage and speak to him. We had kind of assumed that he's supposedly an important person with better things to do and that he would give his speech and leave. And so I was given a Palestinian flag by an American peer of mine, has no Palestinian or Arab background. And I carried the Palestinian flag at my undergraduate graduation. So this just seemed like continuing a tradition to me, something that I knew I was going to do. After Blinken spoke and we realized, oh, he's on stage and he's going to stay, and we're actually expected to fist bump or handshake him or shake his hand, that for myself, that was an impromptu decision that I made in the moment, that I'm not going to fist bump him. I'm not going to shake his hand. And I'm going to convey the message that we're sending with our silent protest a bit more clearly to him while I walk by him on stage. And so as I walked by him, I first received my diploma from the dean of the School of Foreign Service. And then I walked by the Secretary of State. I'm expected to, fist bump him. And instead, I told him, we demand an independent investigation into Shireen Abu Akleh's murder now, and we demand an end to all U.S. aid to the Israeli military now. That's really all I had time for. And I walked off stage after that.
You said that, sorry, as you were passing him after you got your degree, right? That was, you managed to get all that in. And that's, wow, okay.
Yeah, and I think you can even see me in the video. I'm like shaking my head and telling him all of this, trying to relay that.
What did he say? How did he react?
On stage, his reaction was a very dismal, all right, okay. To be frank, I can't remember the exact one-word reply he had to me, but he definitely heard me, because towards the end of commencement, he comes up to me, and I believe viewers can see this in the video footage. He kind of does one of these at me before he steps off the stage, like, don't leave. And as he's getting off the stage to leave the commencement ceremony, he stops right in front of me and my peers. We just so happen to be in the first two front rows because Arab studies starts with A and master's students are always in the front. And so he comes up to me, because I happen to have spoken to him before, and he says, I see you and I hear you. And my response to that was, thank you, but we demand this independent investigation. It's very important. This woman, was murdered. And to that, his response was, we're committed to finding the truth. And that irked me, because myself and my peers are calling for an independent investigation, not because we believe that there is any facts left to find. We know the Israeli military murdered Shireen, but per her family's request, they are requesting an independent investigation because this kind of thing going on the global record is important. It's a step to holding Israel accountable. Now, when that accountability will happen, certainly not in today's current world, and certainly not with the current Biden administration, but it's still important. And so my exact response in that moment to the Secretary of State was, we know the truth. Shireen was murdered by the Israeli military that we bankroll. We need to stop funding the Israeli military with American tax dollars. And as soon as I said that, of course, the hearing and seeing just seemed to dissipate, and he walked away. Now, and I'm sure part of that is the commencement ceremony had to end, but I'm sure part of it is the secretary's own media training that, you know, not to engage maybe any further with folks who are calling him out.
All right. Well, it's thanks for coming in.
Hero.
Yeah.
Hero.
So, I mean, of course he had more time to talk with them. He made time from the beginning. But once you bring up,
wanted a picture with his ass, he would have been like, "Yeah,
sure, yeah. And then post on social media, be like, "Oh, us and Lincoln are working together for world peace." Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that was so telling. Once they hear, "Oh, let's stop giving money to them, to Israel, for them to do human rights abuses," that's what it's like. "Oh, nope. Can't compute. Sorry. Look at the time. Oh, no, I have to this." I mean, yeah. So.
Good for her. What a badass.
Exactly. And I think that, you know, some people were saying, "Oh, like what awareness is she really giving by not shaking his hand?" But it's a small gesture that now more and more people are seeing. And the timing really wasn't, now that it's fresh in people's minds that journalist was murdered by Israeli soldiers wearing a press like outfit so that people could see who she was. And then the videos came out that that cops literally harassed people who were carrying her, you know, tombstone. Yeah. I mean, like she said, that wasn't the original plan, but sometimes timing right there just works great to just bring more awareness than you would normally bring from it.
I mean, for somebody to say, you know, to question what she did as a Palestinian American, she is Palestinian. She just graduated with a master's in Arab studies. And here is someone who she has a chance meeting with, who she has the ear of. Even if it's for 10 seconds, she has the ear of them. Why wouldn't she take that opportunity? People, why are you obligated to shake someone's hand? You're not. Biden could be right in front of my face. There's no way in hell I would shake his hand. No way in hell. Not just Biden, fucking Elizabeth Warren. There are plenty of people I would never shake their hand. Ever. Call me disrespectful. I don't give a fuck. She had no obligation to shake anyone's hand. This country is so full of gestures. You know, oh, well, we have to be polite. And no, fuck that. Fuck being polite. People are dying. Palestinians are dying. We are giving bajillions of dollars to Israeli people who are killing Palestinians and journalists. And we're supposed to not take that opportunity? Fuck that. She's a damn hero.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what did the comments say?
Oh, so is it Tricido said, "I watched the video. They were still shooting towards the other female press member who went for her body. This was absolutely targeted in results of the incident that happened a couple weeks ago." Yeah. So, and I think, you know, this just shows how people like to say, "Oh, politicians, in order to be a politician, you have to be thick-skinned," right? But it just shows how the fact that this person did not shake his hand, like, I almost get the sense too that he felt like oh my gosh, someone did not like shake my hand. I have to go and like try and make this, more out of like an ego thing than an actually caring about like social. That's just the vibe I got. Like,
Yeah, that the fact that he felt obligated to go up to her again afterwards and be like, I see you, I hear you. Obviously, he was thinking about that because he walked up to her. That's what you need to do. Get yourself in their head, even if it's for that moment. Yes. Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, do you want to go now with, you're talking about performance, Beto, and other.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, do you have my tweet I said about Beto?
Yeah.
You guys
let me go
don't say anything about Beto because you will get just jumped on. Like, I thought he was like over, but apparently he's like this cool heartthrob now again.
Well, he's running for governor of Texas, so like, of course.
Yeah, he did before and he lost.
Yeah,
and like, okay, so here's the thing, and even so-called leftists do this all the time too. It's always about comparison. Oh, well, Abbott's horrible, so we need to get him out. What the fuck does that have to do with Beto being great? Not a damn thing. So I post this, okay? Y'all need to look at the comments, because holy fuck! How dare you say that? He cares about those kids. Oh my god. And it's like this one girl, he's a saint.
Yeah, put some respect on his name.
Are you kidding me? The only difference is he's not standing on a fucking table. Like, people were just like so upset that I said that. And this is one of the pictures. Like, yes, absolutely, 100%. Like, it's not about comparison. We saw this shit all the time with Hillary and Trump. It's like, you diss Hillary, obviously you support Trump. No, they're both garbage. Just like we're allowed to, to call out Beto and not be a fan of Abbott. Like, two things can suck at the same time. It's okay. And I thought, people who call themselves leftists were more aware of this shit and they're doing it. So, like, the fact that people are getting like sensitive about me saying that something is performative, dude literally takes big money from imperialism and shit like that, and you're like praising him because he's talking about guns. Fuck your hypocrisy. Fuck it. He is no one to me. And they're like, well, regardless of what he did before, he's being genuine now. Well, no, you don't get credit for being genuine. You should be genuine. I'm not going to praise your ass for that. And if you've been disingenuous 99 times and the 100th time people are saying, well, maybe he was being genuine. Okay, he's still fucking fake. What do you want from me? Oh, wow. I'm not going to fucking praise him. I don't give a fuck. He's not a good person. He's not a good rep. It's better than, it does not work for me. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck. I'm better than too. I'm not running. I don't care.
Yeah. I will say, so my thoughts when it comes to guns and in this situation, there's, I do have different thoughts on that. And yeah, Beto obviously is, he clearly showed himself. He showed his ass in the primary for president for sure. So I'm definitely no Beto fan. Beto, Robert Francis O'Rourke, whatever we want to call him. I did think, yes, what he did was performative. And it made me think of how this almost could be used as an example for people to do, because just coming up and just disrupting their press conference, how angry they all were. right? And it just shows how much it really doesn't take too much to get these politicians off their game, right? And uncomfortable. And so while I don't care about Beto, right? And it is annoying that people are starting to look at Beto as the person who's going to fix everything in Texas, right? It did make me think of like, okay, hopefully the takeaway will be how you can actually go and be disruptive and really get under people's skin. You know, that's how I kind of showed it, taking away Beto and who he is, right? And whether or not that was genuine. But yeah.
But when you've been so fake so many times, how the fuck am I? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, this is the one time he was genuine. No. No.
I mean, yeah. I don't care if it, yeah. Was he genuine? Was he not? I don't know. Probably, I mean, he loves media attention. We got to know that. He literally had, didn't he record himself at the dentist and them going in his teeth when he was campaigning? So, like, he definitely thrives off of this.
Like,
for sure.
For real. Like, you're jumping on tables and standing on vehicles and stuff. And yeah, okay. But now you're like, it's all about the kids, dude. Okay.
And I mean, I think the NRA is I think it's always important to think about when we're thinking about Beto too, and going back to how people are praising him so much. The NRA is one of the special interests that it doesn't give him money. So that's the one place where he can be bold and when it comes to taking away guns, right? And so I think that's something to consider as well. But yeah. That's all I really got to say about that.
Yeah, that was my rant. I know you guys feel me. Fuck Beto.
Yeah.
Beto
so Vicky brings up, you sick son of a bitch was shouted at him. True, it doesn't take much to get him pissed off, but anyone but Beto. Yeah. My thoughts to that. It's true. Like, if it were someone else, I mean, imagine if that were like a parent. That would have been badass. Or
it was who?
If it was like a parent or someone.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Then bring it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
or a fellow, like a high school student.
Yeah. And
yeah, man, bring it.
Hell yeah. And then you sick son of a bitch. So that was shouted at him. That was the mayor of Uvalde who shouted that at him too. Just wanted to give that extra context in there. So adds a whole other
someone
layer.
Shouted, "You sick son of a bitch."
Yeah, when Beto was interrupting the conference, I think Ted Cruz said to him, "Sit down," and then someone else was saying, "Sit down," and then the mayor of Uvalde that was standing behind Abbott at that press conference shouted, "You sick son of a bitch. Get out of here." Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the video with that part. That's fucking funny. He said that to Beto?
Yep. He said that to Beto. That's the mayor of Uvalde of where the shooting happened. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kabuki theater.
But I do think that this incident, and I've said this previously as well, this incident and just showing how blatantly incompetent the cops were during this whole shooting, it does seem like people who typically aren't hard, anti-cop, or who typically tend to think that things just go well in this country, are starting to turn their heads and be like, wait, what the hell is happening here, right? And so in many ways, it does seem like some people's bubbles are being popped a little bit.
I don't know. Show my one tweet I sent.
Well, he's not a human being, though.
No. I made a tweet that was like talking about, they're not putting hashtag defund. They're just saying, oh my God, these particular cops.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, here's this tweet. All the shit libs ranting about how bad police suck, but none of them saying they were wrong about defund the police. Let's be real, their outrage the past week is way more intense than it ever was for the police murdering innocent black and brown people.
I mean, that's just how it is. We've been screaming defund the police for minimum over a year. Minimum. And we've been told nonstop, we need police. You're crazy. You're anarchists. And now they're talking about how incompetent they are, but they're not saying defund or saying they were wrong. Because let's face it, little white school children affect them more. It affects them. It hits home. And that's a fucking shame. You know, the only way the gun thing is going to change, there's going to be two ways. Number one, they shoot up a real rich kid private school type thing that like politicians' kids are in. Or number two is a person of color who does the shootings. Those two things are going to be the only thing that ever would change this.
And that is, I mean, historically, that was why Ronald, I saw someone trying to say, Ronald Reagan wanted gun control, right? So these Republicans are to the right of Ronald Reagan. Well, the reason why Ronald Reagan wanted gun control is he literally saw some Black Panthers who were armed and shit his pants when he was governor of California.
Shit his pants for real?
No, I mean, I don't think he actually.
Oh, I was gonna say that's awesome.
Who knows? Maybe he did.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Who was anyone around to check? I'm not sure, but but I mean that
word shit lived to a whole new meaning.
Oh hell yeah! But that was why Ronald Reagan was for gun control, and so yeah. Particularly, I mean, I think if anyone of elite, quote unquote, elite status that gets harmed by guns, then that's when they're gonna think about it. I mean, think about the whole NRA convention. They didn't let guns in because Donald Trump was speaking and other people of, quote unquote, high value. So that is really where their minds are. And yeah. I mean,
so, and I don't want to go down the whole conspiracy thing, but I'm kind of curious what you think. So I was sitting with my in-laws last night, and they said that, okay, so they said that the kid at the Texas elementary school, that he got in the building because a teacher left her cell phone in the car, and she left the school door open when she went to get her cell phone, and the kid snuck in then. But how did the kid know that the door was going to get open? Like, was he just sitting there all day, like, hoping someone would leave a door? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand these shootings. I just don't understand them. They're just fucking... I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. So you're thinking as part of the conspiracy, like, this is just, we're not saying this happened, but you think that she may have been part of the planning process of it? Like she was...
I don't know. I really don't know. But I think, one thing I will say is I do know this shit doesn't happen for months and months and months and months and months. And now all of a sudden it happens one after another, after another, after another, all together like a fucking cluster. And you know what? And now I'm going to go off on a tangent. Because whenever a mass shooting happens, what do people talk about? Now, I'm not getting into if this is right or wrong, but I'm going to say people always then talk about mental health, the mental health, problem in America, the huge problem of mental health. Okay, but here's the problem with that. Y'all don't fucking give us health care. So whether, regardless whether you agree that this has to do with mental health, if you push that and you say it's mental health, and you're not fucking fighting tooth and nail for every single person to have national Medicare for all, you're a fucking hypocrite. Stop talking about mental health and people not having, their so-called access to, their therapists and their medications and shit like that, because it goes hand in hand. You're not going to sit there and be like, oh, this is all because of mental health, and then not give people the ability to fucking have mental health. So fuck that hypocrisy. It drives me fucking mad. If you talk about mental health, you better fucking put hashtag Medicare for all in your post.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to show this video here because this is actually so Sky News interviewed Ted Cruz, and I mean sometimes
they got the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, they got the Zodiac Twitter, and I think sometimes it all it takes is just like these media outlets that are in different countries to really just get some of these politicians. And so because they ask questions that other domestic outlets that are mainstream don't go to. So give me 1 second, I'm just going to show
it offends me how much he looks like Bill Murray. Like, it really offends me. It upsets me
a little bit. I never really actually thought of it.
It's unacceptable.
Well, he should get rid of the beard. The beard looks really makes him
No,
look
it
like
actually covers up some of his weird bulbous features.
Interesting. All right.
There are 19 sets of parents who are never going to get to kiss their child goodnight again.
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
It's easy to go to politics.
But it's important. It's at the heart of the issue.
I get that that's where the media likes to go.
No, it's not. It's where many of the people we've talked to here like to go.
The proposals from Democrats in the media, inevitably, when some violent psychopath murders people.
A violent psychopath who's able to get a weapon so easily. 18-year-old with 2 AR-15s.
If you want to stop violent crime, the proposals the Democrats have, none of them would have stopped this.
But why does this only happen in your country? I really think that's what many people around the world they cannot fathom. Why only in America? Why is this American exceptionalism so awful?
I'm sorry you think American exceptionalism is awful.
I think this aspect of it.
You got your political agenda.
No, it's honestly,
God love you.
Senator, it's not. I just want to understand why you do not think that guns are the problem.
Why is this just an American problem?
It is just an American problem, sir.
Mr. Cruz, why is America the only country that faces this kind of mass shooting?
But you can't answer that. You can't answer that, can you, sir? You can't answer that. Why is this country?
Why is it that people come from all over the world to America? Because it's the freest, most prosperous, safest country on earth.
It may be the freest. It may be the most.
Why are our kids dying in school?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you.
Exactly.
I'm just
So
gonna
I mean,
say that when I need to walk away from people now, I'm just be like, God bless you.
So
Oh
I
my
mean,
fucking God, he is such a fucking twat waffle. Holy shit.
Yeah. So the favorite part. So I guess my overall thoughts on this is I think this is a much bigger issue than gun control. Like I have my thoughts on this for that, but I really loved how once they brought up American exceptionalism, he was just like, triggered, right? And I think that's
I'm sorry you think American exceptionalism is bad. We live in the safest country in the world. Oh, really?
And then he's like the most prosperous, the most free. And I even tweeted this. I was like, if anybody has any data and facts to back up that the United States is the most prosperous and most free, because I can't find anything to, and that's the one thing.
Literally sending a guy who's never lived here to be extradited here to lock him up. And he's not even American. That's not free.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the dude is literally saying, why does this only happen in your country? And he's like, we live in the safest country. You're what? Oh my God. What a fucking idiot.
I just wish.
But you know what, though? I don't think anybody really likes Ted Cruz, even Republicans.
No, they don't.
We
but,
just
like,
vote for him because he's the Republican on the ballot. I don't really see anyone like supporting him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of it's sort of like Mitch McConnell. Like nobody likes Mitch McConnell, but
yeah.
do they hate him enough to not vote for him? And I think that's always the issue with people like that, you know. And so, I think yes, Vicky, both parties definitely say that kind of shit. The one thing I wish that the Sky News reporter would have said when he gave that BS about this being the most free country and blah 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 prosperous is really according to who? According to what can you point me to any source that confirms your claim, right? Because that would have just gotten Ted Cruz to just get completely
God bless you.
triggered.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I didn't sneeze, bitch. I'm asking you a question. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a mess. So now might be a good time to show the picture and headline of Biden that just came out.
Okay.
Now, yesterday there was something that Biden was walking out of a building and somebody, was yelling, you need to help our kids. You need to do something. And his response was,
I can't. Okay, here we go. And
thumbs
his
up.
response was, drum roll.
Oh, this was today. That was a different one. Yesterday was the thumbs up. Very profound. Give me goosebumps.
Oh, okay. Thumbs up. Yeah, I don't think I have that right here.
Oh, I put it in the chat. Well, anyway, He said, let me pull up the quote. It was very inspiring. This was from today. He said, Biden says gun control is up to Congress. Quote unquote, I can't dictate this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had that one.
Up to Congress.
Yes. Yeah. So,
like,
typical.
Just like when he was like, for COVID, like that's up to the states. I can't do anything. Like he loves to deflect. And it's like, you're talking about Congress, but haven't y'all had the fucking Senate and White House and Congress for like 2 years and done literally nothing? Nothing. So, yeah, but you are seeing a lot of pictures on Twitter like, vote. The importance is voting. Like Amy Klobuchar, she's not even in a fucking blizzard, and she's tweeting that like 10 times a day.
And here comes, this is when they're going to shame all the young people and be like, young people, you need to vote. And it's funny, I even said today on Twitter, I was like, shaming young people blaming young people for not voting is like the liberal equivalent of when conservatives blame young people for buying too much avocado toast as to why they can't afford anything, right? Like it's the same. It's the same thing where it's like,
give people something to vote for. Just give them something to vote for. Can you imagine if Biden said, I said I'd raise the minimum wage to $15 and I'm actually going to do it, even though that's pennies, but I'm making a point. He would get votes.
I'm going to say, because this is not something but like if Biden Yeah, if he were to even give $50,000 in student debt, he's talking about. I'll believe it when I see it, but he might be giving student debt to like $10,000 to people, right? That's not enough, but there might be some people who might be grateful for it, right? So this doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
Breadcrumbs are actually an insult. Like, it's, yeah, I mean, can you hold on? I need to shut the door. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Biden even does, if he does anything when the midterms come up.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, maybe he will when it's like 2023 and a half, and it's like he swears he's gonna run again. He swears he is.
That's true. And
when he was elected, he said, "I'm not running again. I will be a one-time president." Where the fuck is Kamala anyway? I haven't seen her for.
She's been giving speeches that don't really make sense.
So same old. Okay.
Yeah. She said something about like.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
She said we're a community of people, and when we say we're a community of people, or we mean the children are community of people. She said something. I'm gonna look that up because that'll be just a funny.
It's like when you say like a village raise a child, like it's like it really means like when it takes a village to raise a child, and when I say child, I mean all of us.
It's really that really isn't much of an exaggeration. I'm really gonna try and find this video because it's pretty close to what you're saying on that.
Yeah, she sounds like she's on pills, just like Birdbath and Privilege Scrubbed. Why is nobody talking about her fucking husband with a DUI? Because I'm really getting like, come on now. If that was Trump, come on. Seriously.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe this is the video. I'm motivated to show this video of our vice president speaking because I think it's just good to hear all the good ideas that our leaders have.
You mean the one who dropped out before she had a single vote and is now VP? That one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Let's see.
Bill School's not jail. Bill School's not jail.
Of the aspiration and the ambition of our children. So that is why we put the children of America at the center of our agenda. And that is why we put it at the center of the American Rescue Plan. It is our responsibility as the adults of a community, the leaders of a community, to do everything we can to send every message possible in every way to remind our children of how special they are and how important they are to us as a community.
That may have not been the video, but still, that was.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if anyone has seen Maya Rudolph on SNL do Kamala, but that's like all I see right now because it was so spot on. He's like, community. Like, what you're saying is not profound. Stop trying to make it profound. It's not.
Oh, here it is. This is all right.
You look so happy. Oh my God.
Yo, okay, I got a 10-second video right now, and this was the one I was trying to find. And just such words of wisdom here. All right, here it is. I'm so glad I found this. All right. So this is her talking somewhere.
You gotta show it.
Oh, fuck. It's always that extra click. All right, here we go. Oh, it's taking so long, but here we go for this 10 seconds.
You know, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
That's it.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so fucking funny. Like, it's so profound. I have to repeat it. Okay, you guys. Like, when we say community, we like literally mean community. Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't.
So, what do you got coming up, Joy?
So I will be on Ryan Knight Show Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will, we are doing a, we're going to be doing some things to try and raise money for M for All. June 8th, we are doing a Medicare for All trivia night. If you go to m4all.org, you can sign up. It's a minimum of $1 donation. And then when you donate, you get sent a link. And we're going to be using a program that up to 100 people can play, and you just do it right on your computer or phone to answer questions, and then, you know, it goes virtually. So we're doing that. Myself and Jessie Jett will be doing a music one. I'm coming up with music trivia questions, so looking forward to that. That'll be June 29th. We have some exciting things coming for, you know, with the hopes of trying to raise money. But we are really, really, really hurting for donations right now. We are 2 months out, and, you know, organizing you know, locally is a very different animal. You know, organizing a huge rally in front of the White House is, let's put it this way. We found out that just to add a wheelchair accessible ramp to the stage we have to rent is over $1,000 more. Just to add a ramp for a speaker who's going to be on a stage for 10 minutes. It's over $1,000 more. So between that, between the stage, the electronics, the porta pots we have to rent because it's in our permit, there, I mean, thousands of dollars. I'm not even going to say the total because I'll fucking cry. But we can use absolutely any help, anything. And please also promote so that we can hopefully get some donations that way. It's m4all.org. We also have some really badass merch if you want to go that route. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Andrew, what you got?
Yeah, so earlier today, this is actually the third stream I've been on today. Earlier today, me and Z did overlooked news episode, so check that out. We talked about a lot of things that are overlooked, that is important news. And then, yeah, and then coming up, will definitely be a panel show on the People's Voice Network, so catch that at 8 p.m. And of course, if you are not subscribed, you can subscribe to People's Voice Network. And that is mostly, everything right now. So, yeah.
And definitely smash that like button, hit subscribe. On Rockfin, I have about 2,400 subscribers. On here, I have like 800, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But please smash that like and subscribe. Also, I did publish a new article last Thursday, I believe. I was also on Sabby Sabs, so check that out. I went a little, it was a little feisty.
Of course.
Just a little. So yeah, check that out and subscribe to my Substack. But thanks so much for watching, you guys.
Yes,
we love
thanks.
you.
Oh, and check out JB's channel. I was a guest on there as well. It's that thing, yeah. If you want to see more of me, if you're not sick of me already. All right, see you later. Peace.
Peace out.